is on this division of Revenue Bill 2025 that is a precursor of financial year 2025-2026. Mr. Speaker, this is very critical that at this time we are discussing the division of revenue as per Article 210, Mr. Speaker, where at least 15% should go of the latest audited accounts. Mr. Speaker, I want to join my colleagues that National Assembly should move with speed, because it doesn't make sense, Mr. Speaker, that now, Mr. Speaker, we're having a budget that is 4 trillion Kenyan shillings, Mr. Speaker, yet the proposal is to give counties 405 billion, Mr. Speaker. I want to ask the National Assembly to fast-track and ensure that the latest audited account is within even less than one financial year, Mr. Speaker. Therefore, so that counties, and we are proposed, and the nation should follow this, Mr. Speaker, that we are proposing that counties must get at least 465 billion. I expect that as we go to mediation, the position of the Senate should and must stand to get sure that the counties get 465 billion, up from 370 billion that was in financial year 24-25, Mr. Speaker. So that counties, Mr. Speaker, there are many things that counties should do. There are many money that counties should get, Mr. Speaker, so that we can see service delivery, Mr. Speaker. I heard yesterday during the ISPAC meeting in Mombasa, the argument of National Assembly Chairperson of Finance and Planning, say the reason counties should not get more money is because there is corruption. But there is corruption everywhere, even in national government and county governments. That is one of the lame excuses that I've ever heard, Mr. Speaker. That the chair of Finance and National Planning yesterday in ISPAC meeting in Mombasa could say counties should not get more money because of corruption. And you heard the majority leader yesterday said corruption is everywhere. You cannot, Mr. Speaker, they say before you kill a dog, you give it a bad name. And that is what National Assembly are trying to do our county. In fact, my proposal, and I want to agree with Prime Minister Raila Odinga, that all funds should go to only two offices, the National Executive and the Governor. And I want to ask members of National Assembly, if you want to manage funds, run for only two seats, the Governor or the President. The Constitution is very clear, Article 94 and 96, that the work of Parliament is legislation, oversight, budget-making process, representation. And there is wisdom why the 2010 Constitution ensure that Parliament should do that job, because you cannot oversight yourself. As they say in Kiswahili, and quote unquote, Mr. Speaker, muganga ajigangi. And that is the essence, that the National Assembly should oversight National Executive, the Senate and the County Assembly should oversight the governors, Mr. Speaker. So I don't see any reason, Mr. Speaker, that National Assembly is arguing that since there is corruption in counties, but we have ethics and anti-corruption. You have seen the governor of Trans Nzoia has been arrested and arraigned before court of law. You saw the other day that the former governor of Busia was taken to anti-corruption case of 8 million Kenyan shillings, Mr. Speaker. We have a number of governors that are facing corruption allegation cases in court that are being prosecuted by DPP and EACC. We cannot allow, Mr. Speaker, that somebody wants to kill Devolution so that they can have the money at the center. In fact, my prayer, Mr. Speaker, is going into the future, Mr. Speaker, that we must agree that let us devolve so much money and resources to counties until no one cares who is the president of Kenya. That is my dream. So that when you are in Meru, your people are satisfied and you have your resources at Meru County, you divide. When you are in Garissa, Mr. Speaker, and I was disappointed, Mr. Speaker, over the weekend, that the county government of Garissa, led by a governor, decided to do a cultural festivals, yet the city does not have water or even clean toilet, Mr. Speaker. So it's very unfortunate, Mr. Speaker, that even, Mr. Speaker, even like they have not even completed a called Baraki Malamin 56-kilometer of water that connects the town that was worth, Mr. Speaker, 219 million. But they are doing cultural festival in Garissa, Mr. Speaker. In fact, Garissa County have 17 projects that have stalled that amount to 504 million that are yet to be complete, but they have money, which were millions of shillings that they can do cultural events in Garissa County, Mr. Speaker. They should be called out. Those are the people who are giving a bad name Devolution, Mr. Speaker. Those are, in fact, In fact, they purchased food worth 34 million to flood victims in Garissa, Mr. Speaker. But that money should be used in a fair and transparent manner so that we see value, Mr. Speaker. Even when we were fixing Meru, Mr. Speaker, by removing the former governor, was to bring order and sanity. So I want to call out governors who give it a bad name, devolution. That is why devolution wants to be killed by individuals, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, we must agree that as a nation, we must agree that money should go to counties to ensure there is value for money, Mr. Speaker. Number two, Mr. Speaker, I have seen that counties from March, April, Mr. Speaker, equitable shareable revenue has got to be dispersed. 74.98 billion is yet to be dispersed. Mr. Speaker, under Article 219, and the CS of National Treasury should be aware of this, that Article 219 says when the money has been dispersed, it should be dispersed without undue delay under Article 219 until and unless stopped under Article 225, Mr. Speaker. That is when the Constitution envisages that money should not be sent to a county when it has been stopped under 225 of the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya, Mr. Speaker. The violation of Article 219, and I remember we didn't sanction the former minister, Ukuri Yatani, over delay of disbursement to counties, Mr. Speaker. Let the National Treasury, I am happy, Mr. Speaker, and I want to congratulate them, that they have released the school capitation of over around 22 billion capitation fees for second term to schools. But they must release 74.98 billion to counties that from February, March, and April, Mr. Speaker, so that the functions within counties can be pursued seamlessly, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, apart from corruption and prudent expenditure by counties, Mr. Speaker, we must agree as a nation, and I would have expected an opposition as the Senate, and I hope as we go to mediation and members of finance and budget are here, we must agree, Mr. Speaker, that our position as the Senate, we must push for 465 billion Kenyan shillings, Mr. Speaker. Number 4, Mr. Speaker, is on concurrent functions. Mr. Speaker, we need to have clarity on community health programs, CHVs, Mr. Speaker. Because when you move under our county, CHVs have not been paid, Mr. Speaker. There is another, Mr. Speaker, the issue of UHC, universal health coverage. Mr. Speaker, I hope you have seen whenever you are driving into Parliament, the UHC staff are always demonstrating, Mr. Speaker. You have even directed from your seat that we receive their petition, Mr. Speaker. These are the people when soldiers were hiding in barracks, when big men and women wielding power are hiding because of COVID. It is only these heroines and heroes of Kenya that confronted the fight against COVID-19, Mr. Speaker. It is sad today that the country does not see value of UHC staff, Mr. Speaker. And even Council of Governors, the other day they say they don't have a budget, Mr. Speaker. They were arguing that they gave us a pet to take it home, but it turned into a skunk, Mr. Speaker. Or they gave us a skunk to take it home and turn it into a pet, Mr. Speaker. We must agree, and I want to challenge National Assembly, that under the conditional grant, at least we should give 2 billion as a ring fence for transit of UHC. But they must first be given, Mr. Speaker, the gratuity so that they can get value for the money, Mr. Speaker. The UHC that are demonstrating daily, we must listen to them, Mr. Speaker. And you remember the Minister of Health was here, although he said he doesn't take my counsel, but my counsel is rarely given, and it is valuable, Mr. Speaker. You remember the Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale said he cannot take advice from Cheragei, and it is on record. But I'm saying my counsel is rare but very valuable, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker,
there is a point of information from Senator Endi Okeji.
To the House or me?
Be informed.
Okay, yes.
Eddie?
Mr. Speaker, my brother Senator Cheragei has just spoken about the universal healthcare workers, and he has said that there should be at least 2 billion allocated for them. I wanted to inform Senator Cheragei that because we share this gravity of the issue, the 2 billion cannot be enough for them, because the money that we need to be able to make sure that UHCs are actually compensated properly is 3.5 billion. So I wanted to inform you that that is a very important number that we cannot go below. And most importantly, we also cannot compromise the issue of permanent and pensionable for them. So even as you combine those two, the 2 billion is too small for them. It should be 3.5 billion and above.
Senator Cheragei, you are well informed. Eh?
He has advantage of sitting in finance and budget, member. I think 3.5
billion.
billion.
Should ensure that that money is.
Yeah,
in the budget.
you should ensure, even as we go for mediation, our bare minimum is to ensure that 3.5 billion is ring-fenced for payment of gratuity and hiring on permanent and pensionable of UHC staff. And I'm happy, Mr. Speaker, even during permanent and pensionable, we did push under junior secondary schools, JSS, for 6,000, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm coming up with a proposal to amend the PSC Act that all public service commission interns who intern with government, after 6 months, they must be transited to permanent and pensionable so that we retrain the quality of training of those staff, Mr. Speaker, and we don't pay stipend, Mr. Speaker. As we talk, even as the UHC staff demonstrate, Mr. Speaker, it is sad because in our hospitals, there are no services. Yet we have staff that had already been trained. Mr. Speaker, I want to advise Council of Governors and Ministry of Health. Let us not lose UHC staff because they have already trained, they have worked, they have experience. So the least we could do as a country, we need to appreciate the heroes and heroines of COVID-19 pandemic staff. Mr. Speaker, you remember soldiers could not come out of barracks because no one knew how to handle COVID in this country, Mr. Speaker. So that the UHC staff and CHVs, we must look at it, Mr. Speaker. The public debt, I have seen the reasoning of allocating is the public debt, which is approaching 11 trillion, Mr. Speaker. I want to call upon, and I want to challenge the finance and budget of National Assembly and the Senate and His Excellency the President, that why don't we do an audit of the public debt, Mr. Speaker, so that we know in these 11 trillion shillings, who do we owe and who owe us, Mr. Speaker? It cannot be that the country pays a public debt that an audit has never been done, Mr. Speaker, of around 11 trillion Kenya shillings. I want to say that one of the things that Parliament can do is to demand an audit of the entire public debt that the country is paying. Because, Mr. Speaker, we have to tax Kenyans. We have to borrow so that we can pay tax. Because in the past, Mr. Speaker, in the past regime, there was reckless and abandonment of borrowing, Mr. Speaker, that we cannot account for. Through the SGR, through the infrastructure roles, Mr. Speaker, we must demand for an audit of public debt in this country of 11 trillion Kenya shillings, Mr. Speaker. And even, Mr. Speaker, it is very disappointing that most of the businessmen in Meru, in Nandi, in Kilifi, in Narok, in Migori, in Garissa, in Isiolo, are suffering because of lack of the payment of pending bills, Mr. Speaker. It cannot be that the controller of budget is releasing money, yet we have pending bills of 185.446 billion Kenya shillings, Mr. Speaker. You are killing our small business. I remember Senator Kisheru was coming up with a bill of startups. How will you support the small businesses in our villages and in our counties if you do not pay pending bill? And you remember the Ladamas motion, Mr. Speaker. We had resolved as a House that the pending bills must be paid. Mr. Speaker, in the last session, the National Treasury issued a circular that counties must give an undertaking of payment of pending bills. But it is sad that the pending bill as of today is 185.46 billion Kenya shillings, with Nairobi leading with over 100 billion Kenya shillings, Mr. Speaker. We must be told where is the money going. When you go to the controller budget, the requisitions are being made. When you come, the pending bills. Mr. Speaker, because we have a problem called voiding of payments, Mr. Speaker, where you take the money to pay X, but they end up paying Y, Mr. Speaker, and we must be told on this public debt, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, on the issue of equalization fund, under Article 204, that 10 billion, I want to request that the finance and budget must tell the nation what happened to equalization fund. We have been passing time. Nandi is supposed to benefit in Kapchorwa ward, Soba Songo, Mr. Speaker, and Chemelil Chemasa ward, although Terik and Chepteroi ward should be beneficiary in Nandi County. But we are yet to get it, Mr. Speaker. I want to challenge that we must also demand a special audit by OAG to look into the equalization fund. And I know Meru is a beneficiary, Kilifi, Mr. Speaker, and many other counties should benefit from equalization fund, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, and therefore, even finally on the 50th point is on source revenue, Mr. Speaker, we must agree The revenue potential, for example, of Nairobi is 63 billion. But when they collect 11 billion, 13 billion, they become excited. The revenue potential of Nandi is 800 billion. But when Sang collects 200 billion, it's to celebrate. Is it a case where a chicken lays an egg and makes a lot of noise as opposed to a cow which gives a lot of milk, Mr. Speaker? We must relook at the own source revenue. For Nandi, we have multinational tea estates, land rates, land rent, among others, Mr. Speaker, so that we can ensure that we support, Mr. Speaker. But I want to challenge counties, and I want to warn governors. No governor is special. Even if you criticize the president, you are not special. We want to tell the governor of Trans Nzoia that he must be held accountable. However much he tries to politicize the issue, he must face the full wrath of the law, Mr. Speaker. And I want even to throw mind, Mr. Speaker, this country people should avoid bad manners. I want to thank Her Excellency Suluhu Hassan for calling out activists who wanted to go and disrupt the peace in Tanzania. In fact, should have detained and prosecuted them because they have taught this country bad manners, Mr. Speaker. These activists, they have taught our people to insult, to undermine, to lose respect to the leadership of this country, Mr. Speaker. Tanzania is a very peaceful country. And what President Suluhu Hassan said, we should respect our countries, Mr. Speaker. There is mutual respect. And I hope as the activists run around East Africa trying to meddle in the internal affairs, they must be put to stop, Mr. Speaker. Because what business would you have to go and meddle in affairs of Tanzania? What business, Mr. Speaker? These activists, and I want to ask President Suluhu Hassan, Mr. Speaker, of Tanzania, to be very careful because these activists are funded by enemies of Africa who want to destabilize the unity, the peace and tranquility of most African nations, Mr. Speaker. You saw even in the last Gen Z protest, Mr. Speaker, there were allegations that international donors were financing instability, Mr. Speaker, in this country using what we call international donors, Mr. Speaker. So I want to ask the President Suluhu Hassan that in the spirit of East Africa, he should assist us to discipline some of these ill-behaved activists that have continued to destabilize Kenya, Mr. Speaker. The island of peace of Tanzania must be protected, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Cheragei.
Anawafinye kabisa.
Senator Cheragei, can you relate what you are now discussing with the Division of Revenue Bill? Can you relate the two? Because you
okay, I'm trying to relate.
Digressing.
What I'm saying, Mr. Speaker, we need stability in Tanzania and in Kenya. Because there is balance of trade. We export and import. We get taxes. Then we build on the division of revenue, Mr. Speaker. And that is why I'm saying we should not disturb the peace and unity of Tanzania, Mr. Speaker. And ask Suluhu Hassan afinya wakabisa.
There's a minute.
Mr. Speaker, this is a very serious flaw in this House, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, this is on 105 in the statement of facts. Mr. Speaker, is it in order for the Senator of Nandi, who is a lawyer, to actually misinform the House and misinform the public on what informs the action of deportation of Kenyans from Tanzania, Mr. Speaker? Mr. Speaker, if you look at Article 104 of the EAC Common Market Protocol of 2015, it expressly says and guarantees the freedom of movement of service, labor, and goods within the East African region. If you look at the treaty, Mr. Speaker, that was established in 1999, Mr. Speaker, it allows the tenets of democracy to actually permeate in the region entirely, Mr. Speaker. How can Senator Cheragei allow the existence of those treaties, Mr. Speaker? This is something that must be condemned and is not right and could actually lead to reciprocation by Kenyans for other members, Mr. Speaker. So is it factual that that's the tenets of our democracy, Mr. Speaker, that dictatorship in Tanzania is exclusive to our dictatorship in the country?
Senator Cheragei has heard you. Let him respond.
The Senator Eddie should withdraw and apologize. There is no dictatorship in Tanzania because they do elections regularly. Correct. So it is very wrong. Mr. Speaker, I wanted to answer point of order and after.
Why 1 minute?
Yes. So he
Yeah,
must
there.
withdraw and apologize because Samia Suluhu, Hassan president, she has been elected to be in that office alongside the late Makufuli. Number two, under the EAC Treaty, it talks about goods and services. Martha Karua and other busybody activists are not defined as goods and services. Unless I got it, the Treaty of 1999.
Goods, services, and labor.
And which labor was a busybodies activist. The Martha Karua and Boniface were taking to Tanzania, Mr. Speaker. And NGO money and cloud chasing in TikTok and Facebook, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, with those many remarks, I submit and I pray that we go to mediation, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I shall not be intimidated. These are people who are financed by NGOs,
Boni.
Mr. Speaker. I will not be moved. If they have eaten NGOs money from Soros, Mr. Speaker, I should ensure.
Senator
He should
Cheragei,
withdraw.
you have finished. Assume your seat. Senator Boni.
Yes. Mr. Speaker, with all due respect, I think, however emotional we can become during debate, but we must uphold parliamentary language. Mr. Speaker, Mother Karua is an honorable member who has served this republic, not only in this House, but also in cabinet. And Mr. Speaker, Mother Karua was one of the engines behind the success of the promotion of the fast tracking of the East African community. Mr. Speaker, for the Senator of Nandi to call Mother Karua and Professor Willie Mutunga as busybodies should not reflect anywhere in the records of this House. You'll have
So
time.
what is out of order, Senator Boni Karua?
In fact, I'm on point of order.
Because you are now also trying to do a debate. So what is your point of order? Be specific.
Yes. The point of order is the Honorable Senator, in order to use unparliamentary language, and have specified calling distinguished Kenyans busybodies. Is he in order? Mr. Speaker, I demand that he withdraws and apologizes abundantly to William Tunga, Professor, and Mother Karua. I would forgive him if he's talking about people like Boniface Mwangi. That's okay. But not these two characters, these distinguished Kenyans.
Yes, Senator Cheragei.
Mr. Speaker, I just say busybodies. People are busy. In fact, I am better than President Samia Suluhu Hassan, who say viumbe. In fact, I am better. I'm saying they are busybodies. What is their job description as at now? They are former, so, and we know what they are trying to achieve. These are activists who want to
Senator Boni Khalwale, your point of order is on standing on the 122. Yes. 122, 1B. When a senator declines to retract use of unparliamentary language or declines to offer apologies, despite having been ordered to do so by the Speaker. So he becomes gross disorderly conduct. That is where now you are going to, and you know the consequences. We must respect the standing orders like the Bible.
Okay.
So that we can
Mr. Speaker, with tremendous respect, because you are the chair of Njuri, I withdraw and substitute. It's a respected house of decision among the Ameru community.
It's a
yes.
Council of Elders.
Council of Elders, it is recognized under the Constitution.
One of them actually revamped.
And I was there. In fact, when I was there with you, the Njurinjeke went into a trance as you approached to address them. So I have every right to ensure that... Mr. Speaker, I withdraw the word busybody and good for nothing individuals, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
The Senator Olekina Rendama.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to support the report by the Committee of Finance and Budget. in as far as their contribution to the Division of Revenue Bill. Mr. Speaker, as I seek your indulgence with my vocals, I want to remind this House that we've been here before. We've been here where we are supporting the report of our Committee on Finance and Budget and rejecting the proposed DORA from the National Assembly. Mr. Speaker, if you're very keen to listen to the Finance and Budget Committee, the Finance and Budget Committee are telling us that the National Assembly is completely violating the Constitution. It is violating Article 202 that demands for revenue raised to be shared equitably. It is also violating the Constitution in the sense that they have received the audited financial statement from the Auditor General for the year 2024-2025, but they have refused to consider, meaning any funds which are being shared can never be shared equitably between the national government and the county government. Mr. Speaker, if we are relying on audited financial statement for the year 2020-2021, the only amount of money that can be proposed